Now, as I'm sure you know, there's been plenty of political turbulence in the main opposition People's Democratic Party, with an ongoing rebellion amongst the leading Nyesom Wike group within the party. But even as the leadership of the PDP tries to focus on reconciliation and is looking to reassure the public that the party is managing the crisis, they and the presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar appear to be hemorrhaging support. The latest to join the ranks of the Wike group is the youth leader and nominated member of the Presidential Campaign Council, Abduljabbar Rufai, seen here in this video at the launch of the PDP's Presidential Campaign Council. Mr. Rufai says he's resigning his nomination in sympathy with Governor Wike for what he says is the injustice being done to Southerners in the PDP and the refusal of the party leadership to hearken to Mr. Wike's calls for change. Mr. Rufai says the PDP is acting like a regional rather than a national party. Consequently, he's decided to join the Wike group in pulling out of the campaign team. Well, to shed more light on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the man himself, the political activist and youth leader, Abduljabbar Rufai. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us why you've decided not to accept your nomination into the PDP's Presidential Campaign Council. I emphasize nomination because your name doesn't actually appear on the list, but you were sent an email, which we have seen, inviting you to be on that campaign council. Why have you chosen to throw your lot in with the Wike camp?
Right. First of all, I am a northerner and I'm a son of Kano State and Gombe State. That makes me a son of both the Northeast and the Northwest. I decided my political vocation started with support of Atiku Abubakar as the presidential candidate of PDP back in 2018, and up to today, until today, that I decided to pull out of the campaign committee as a result of the injustice that is going on in the People's Democratic Party. And we decided not to rationalize the act of gross injustice that is being perpetrated by the party leadership and the party structure. Right.
So you've basically taken sides in the conflict, is that right? And because you think that that Wike is getting a bad hand being dealt him by the party.
Right. If there are sides in the PDP, then I would choose to be with Wike, because from what we believe is he has more reason. He has reasons to be aggrieved, and this is not about his personal interest. It is not about the fact that he lost the primaries, and it is not about the fact that he wasn't chosen as the running mate. But it is about justice. It is about balance in the party structure. It is about having a political fairness in the party. So I choose to support Wike because I believe he is right in this, and I'm sure that is why a lot of party members, a lot of party leaders, among which are the party founding fathers and a number of governors and a number of former governors are supporting him, because we in the PDP we tend to support what is right. We tend to support what is right, and that is democracy. That is what I believe democracy is all about.
Yes, but obviously not everybody is supporting Wike, and I mean you are still in the PDP,
right? And
presumably you'd like the PDP to win in 2023,
right?
But the public sees the PDP as deeply divided, and the actions that you're taking now won't help the PDP in 2023, will it?
Right, it won't directly, but it will indirectly. And why I'm saying this is because, you see, Governor Wike is not trying to bring the party down. In fact, indirectly, he is trying to make the party a national party once again. He is trying to promote unity in the country. He is trying to bring unity back to the country. he is working to bring. He's working for democracy. He's working to promote democracy, and he's fighting and compelling the party leadership to honor its constitution, because it was written in the constitution that this is where the party, this is if a party chairman comes from this side, then the presidential candidate should come from the other side. So now, since he couldn't get the party's presidential ticket, it is good for the Southerners to at least have something to take home, to I don't know, to tell their people that we are stakeholders in this. We for inclusiveness, I mean, to have something that they can say, this is what we have in the party, and you need to support this party because it is a national party and it is not a party for the Northerners, because at its stands now, it is another party. Right,
but it's interesting that you mentioned democracy there, right, as what Wike is trying to achieve within the party, because that's right, exactly what the other side are saying. I mean, they're saying that no one in the party can force Iyorchia Ayu to resign because the NWC have met, the right, NEC have met, that's the highest decision-making body in the party, and they've passed a vote of confidence in the chairman, and that is the law and the constitution of the party.
Right, right. So you see, Governor Wike is, how shall I put this? Governor Wike is trying to compel the party to respect its constitution, and it is just like helping the party win indirectly, because it is just like telling the Northerners, the Northerners, I mean, that you cannot have it all. This is a national party. I mean, you should let us be stakeholders in this party.
Yeah, but he should also be subject to the process, right, of getting rid of a chairman if there's need for it. I mean, there's a constitutional process within the party, isn't there?
Yes.
And looking at the demands that Mr. Wike is making, which is chiefly calling for the resignation of the chairman, Iyorchia Ayu, that's a demand that sharply divides the party. I mean, that's one of the reasons you're here, because you've taken one side and the other people on the other side. How do you reconcile what Mr. Wike wants and what the party wants?
Right. So you see, you know what they say, charity begins at home, right? So I feel like Governor Wike has done undoubtedly well in his state, and for me, I think he is one of, if not the best, one of the best governors in Nigeria. So and that is why he has undoubtable support and unquestionable support from the South, from the River State and the South in general. And that is why there is no any strong opposition that has obstructed him in what he is doing. That's that. And Governor Wike is, like I mentioned, is fighting for inclusivity in the party. And the reason why I said that is the PDP cannot go into the presidential election with a northern presidential candidate and a northern party chairman.
Yes, I understand that, because you've made that point. But if you really wanted to focus on justice, I mean, the most important position in the PDP is not that of the party chairman, is it? I mean, it's of the presidential candidate, but you seem to have accepted the presidential candidate coming from the north when your party constitution talks about rotating between the north and the south.
You see, that's what Atiku Abubakar believes. I feel like he believes that the zoning should not be based on the national interest. I mean, it should be based on political parties, and not the fact, and forgetting the fact that President Muhammad Buhari had 8 uninterrupted years of the presidency. So he believes, since President Muhammad Buhari is not from the PDP, then it is time for the PDP to also have a northern a president.
Okay, well, that's very interesting. I want to thank you very much indeed for coming in and for letting us know how you feel about what's going on in the PDP. It's very interesting to hear you discuss the political issues that you see coming up in the party. Abduljabbar Rufai is a political activist and youth leader in the People's Democratic Party. Thank you very much indeed.